with someone remarking after one of their performances that the band's sound was not just raging, it was raging fire.
Hey everybody! It's Waddle, the Audiophiles. My name's John, his name's Andy.
It is.
I feel so extraordinary. Something's got a hold on me. I get this feeling I'm in motion, a sudden sense of liberty. I don't care because I'm not there. I don't care if I'm here tomorrow. Again and again, I've taken too much of the things that cost you too much. More on that later. But first, we have a song to listen to, selected by Brother Andy. Please, folks at home, you've seen the title. I haven't. Tell us what you got.
We've got a band called Raging Fyah, Fyah, Raging Fyah, and yes, and it is a track called Judgment Day. And I've chosen a live performance from Audiotree for you to go off and give a watch and a listen to. But I'm assuming Raging Fyah is something you're not very familiar with. Yay or nay?
I mean, naturally, yes, but musically.
Of course. Miles away. All right.
It's all the Vindaloo I eat.
That explains it. Well,
no, never heard of the band.
Cool. Well, go off and give this video a watch, this performance and observation, and come back and let us all know what you made of it.
Hey, a minute in. Cool. Great start. You guys. It almost sounded like a heavenly choir. I was wondering if Audiotree had a new sort of intro music, but it's these guys. So yeah, interesting start for a reggae song. And then initial sort of bits and pieces, and then the beat kicks in and it's instant smile time. Fantastic. I love the guitar intro as well. It had, I'm sure there's loads of others, but it just put me instantly in mind of sort of like Isley Brothers. It's like that 70s vibe to the guitar sound. Really nice. Yeah, fantastic stuff so far. It's got a lovely, lovely sound to it.
Better not trouble this man. My fears have gone away out of Babylon. I already paid for the wrongs that I've done.
Lovely.
And I can safely say I am Rasta's son. On Judgment Day I'll be playing music for the rebels. Roots rock reggae music playing sweet in heaven. On Judgment Day I'll be playing music
I guess that was a chorus because I also got the title in it. Um, you don't need me to witter on about it. It just sounds fantastic. There's a real surge of positivity about it all. Yeah, it's just great. I heard him say roots rock reggae. It's like funny, and he mentioned Babylon earlier. I was trying to listen to the lyrics at first, but that organ going just kept grabbing my attention. Um, you've got two banks of keys, and it's both are sounding really great. Rhythm section's fantastic, and it just has that bouncy sort of joy to it that you get with reggae. But the guy's voice, he has a nice amount of charisma to it. So reggae can be a fairly standard affair, but it's then down to the players as to what sort of interest they put into it. And this is definitely holding my interest so far. It sounds great. Sounds absolutely great.
Built up their house on the sand. Rastaman built up this temple on a firm foundation. You knows you better know yourself. Don't sit aside and criticize. Come and help yourself. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels. Yes, the roots rock reggae music plays. Hey, on Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels. Yes, the roots rock reggae music plays.
Yeah.
On Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels. On Audiotree, roots rock reggae music plays. Yeah, on Judgment Day, roots rock reggae music plays.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, on Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels. Hey, roots rock reggae, yeah. On Judgment Day, roots rock reggae music plays. Sweet in our heaven.
Awesome. What was I to say? I think with some genres, we've spoken about this before, particularly like blues, reggae as well. Um, it's not a lot of groundbreaking work that goes on. There has been, not particularly. So it's a question of how you deliver it and what sort of personality, charisma, or whatever you call it, you bring with it. That's your character, your brand. Um, I think music like this, the sort of shadow of Bob Marley and the Wailers sort of looms over it a lot, and a lot of music's held up in comparison to it. But this stands up really well. Um, yeah, quality, really good live performance. I love the little touches they did. The sort of small little cameo bit where different ones just had like 5, 6 seconds of each one. And then the bit at the end with the sort of, was it 3 false stops? They're really fun as well. And it just showed how tight they are as well. So really good live performance. I think the singer had a nice charisma to his voice. And they all just played it so well. And it sounded great. Yeah, really, really enjoyable. I'm going to be checking out more of these guys for sure. But we need to find out a bit more about them. And to do that, we shall go back and chat out with Brother Andy.
All right. Well, welcome back. So please, I'm jonesing to know, what did you make of this one?
Yeah, it was interesting from the off. So the title screen comes up and we get these initial soaring synths. And I thought, oh, Audiotree have got new intro music. And then we see, but it was kind of something akin to like a heavenly choir almost. Really interesting. And then after some initial sort of skirmishes, the drums along with the bass launch that traditional reggae beat. And I always think of it as kind of like it's a yo-yo of joy. That beat keeps bouncing back to you each time with like a micro hit of positivity that tells your brain, relax and let go.
Yeah.
Instant smile time. Lovely stuff. You know, I'm a fan of reggae music anyway. Yep. Decent. And this is decent stuff. So over this reggae beat, we get the stabbing keyboard chords. And actually, there's 2 keyboard players, which is a really cool choice as well, because you've got different types. And this guy noodling the guitar. And for me, instantly, I'm probably wrong, but it just gave me flashes of like Isley Brothers, that type of searing guitar that's very 70s sounding. Lovely stuff. Really enjoyed it. So your singer starts, and I'm really trying to listen to the words, but at the same time, there's this organ action that keeps stealing my attention. I just, so I got Babylon, obviously.
You can probably just throw shit at the wall and guess it. That's going to be featured 75% of all reggae songs.
Exactly. So we then get to the chorus, and he says something like, on Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels. And then he says roots, rock reggae, which is interesting because that was referenced by Joe Strummer in the last Clash song we did. So that's quite cool. They said about like Up in Heaven playing it, And at this point, we're getting really nice backing harmonies, the backing voices. And I have to say, bless him, he did a great job, but the bass player looks so reluctant to sing, like, it's like, do I really have to do this? Yeah. It's so funny. He's like... And he sounded great, but it just, his face was just like, this is a strain for me. I've got to do this and this. It was really funny, but it sounded brilliant. Really, really nice. So the chorus was a really appropriate, uplifting chorus. Again, packed both musically and lyrically with positivity. So this is like the big thing to take out of this. The next verse, of the words I catch, sounds like a parable. He says something about the foolish man building on sand, but Rasta man's got a temple on solid foundations, so it's like cool stuff. And then we get another chorus, and we're treated to another guitar break with that great 70s vibe. And then we go back into the chorus again, and he name checks Audiotree, which I thought was quite cool.
Yeah.
And then there's like a really brief fill from the drums, and then we break it down. And it's really nice because it's that traditional, you get cameos from all the different players. But this was like a 5-second cameo from each one. So you got the bass in isolation for a start, and he had a tinkle from the key guy in the far far end, the guitar's doing this almost like wah bit, and then the other key starts doing this high bit, which is really nice. But again, it's like 5 seconds. So it's like a speeded up version of what you normally get, like half a minute of each, doing their stuff, but they've made it tight. And even though it's brief and a few seconds of each, again, it adds to that feeling of inclusiveness. It just brings it all together. I really liked it. Chorus again, and then this time they do a cutout, so there's just keys for like half a line or so, and then we go into a series of false stops, which is really fun. And you could see they were having a blast doing it, and he was like dancing around. And it's just, which one's going to be the real stop? You don't know.
Yeah.
It's like musical statues, as kids playing, you go, stop when the music stops.
Yeah.
And it was just really fun. But it also showcased how tight the band are as well, and how really on it they were. So yeah, I mean, this is a great live performance. I think the singer had plenty of charisma in his voice. I said this in the reaction that, we've spoken about this before. There's certain genres of music where there's not really much new to do in it. So like blues is one of them, reggae to an extent is another one. So it really stands up on, one is how well you do it, and two, what sort of charisma or character or yourself you bring into it. And that's what people buy into. And for this type of reggae, which is kind of got that sort of poppy side to it, and I mean that very lightly, the shadow of Bob Marley and the Wailers really hangs over this sort of reggae music really strong, and everything's held up to it. But I think this stands up really well in comparison. I think they had enough of their own sort of blend to it, and I just loved it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and I'll definitely want to be checking out more about these guys.
Yeah. I thought you might. And when we talked about reggae, these are, and the few artists that are kind of contemporary that I'm familiar with, this is one of the ones that I wanted to bring to the mix at some point, but I didn't also want to just give it to you right away and all blow our reggae load in like 2 or 3 weeks of content, you know what I mean? So we're to space it out a little bit. I would say this, and I don't know if this necessarily like goes against what you said, but one element of this to me that I felt a little bit, and I'm not saying I've never heard reggae that does this before, but the reliance on a little bit more lead guitar work in this track, as opposed to just that classic kind of strum pattern that you get with a lot of reggae. I thought was really kind of neat and cool, and something that you don't always get or maybe necessarily expect when you go in knowing you're going to listen to reggae. So I appreciated that the first time I heard this song. So that was just aside from everything that you outlined and how it does really hold up well as modern reggae against the classics, again, like the Wailers and the Marleys and all this stuff. I thought, oh man, this is some really good guitar work, and it's just fun to watch the live performance in that atmosphere. So yeah, cool. I'm really stoked that you liked it. A little bit about Raging Fyah. They are currently a 5-piece reggae band from Kingston, Jamaica, and they formed in 2006. But the band at this time consisted of 6 members, and I'll explain that a little bit later as we go through the notes. Kumar Bent on lead vocals, Odine Journey Ricketts on guitar, Delroy Pele Hamilton on bass, Anthony Tony Drums Watson on you guessed it, drums, Damar Dems Gale on keyboards, and Nicholas Grosskopf on guitar. So yeah, they released their first album in 2011. And in 2016 signed to VP Records, with third album Everlasting earning them a Grammy nomination. Hamilton, Gale, and Watson met while studying music at Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts in Kingston, Jamaica, where they studied under Ebo Cooper, former keyboardist with Third World. They formed Inside Out, their first band, in 2002, and then changed their name to Raging Fyah in 2006. So I don't know if first band's the right term. The earliest iteration of the current band, I should say, bore that initial name that then changed to Raging Fyah. According to Gale, the band's name came from their time as a house band at a studio in Standpipe owned by a man known as Raging. With someone remarking after one of their performances that the band's sound was not just raging, it was Raging Fyah. And in 2011, they released their debut album, Judgment Day. And in that same year, the band hit the road to perform on a number of global stages, as well as to headline several major reggae festivals in Europe, including Summer Jam, Rototom, Sunsplash, and Garance. So some of these I'm not very familiar with because I don't know much about European Jamaican festivals, but I thought that was interesting. The group's second album, Destiny, was released in 2014 and included the anti-bullying themed single, Brave. In the fall of 2015, Raging Fyah signed a multi-album deal with VP Records. And in the spring of 2016, Raging Fyah released the album, Everlasting. The album peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Reggae Albums chart and featured at number 5 in the magazine's 10 Best Reggae Albums of 2016. It also reached the top 10 of the CMJ World Charts. Raging Fyah spent the rest of the year touring the U.S. with Stick Figure and Fortunate Youth, and a 2016 European tour bringing Stick Figure as support. That year, they were nominated in the Most Outstanding Show Band category at the International Reggae and World Music Awards. In 2016 ended with Everlasting receiving that aforementioned Grammy nomination for Best Reggae Album. In 2017 began with an extensive tour across the U.S. again, supporting Tribal Seeds, followed by a summer tour in the U.K. supporting Ali Campbell's version of UB40. In 2018, lead singer Kumar Bent left the band to concentrate on a solo career, and I think the singing was taken up by the guitarist. Valentine Zill of United Reggae had this to say of the album. This is pure classical roots reggae at its very best. Yet it has a contemporary feel without actually incorporating seasonable urban music. Conscious roots reggae is on the rise again, and Judgment Day is the best proof of that claim one could imagine. He then added, with this sweet, sweet album, Raging Fyah already entered the eternal hall of fame of reggae music. Not having this album in your collection of records would be an unforgivable mistake. I'm looking forward now to Judgment Day, if only to hear Raging Fyah playing music for the rebels, playing Sweet in Heaven. And according to George Harris of Jazz Weekly, Judgment Day has a churchy feel that is definitely present, and I think you get that from the organs probably, that is definitely present on the title track. Some nice music, some nice guitar work is on Music Isn't Biased and Karma. And again, Bent delivers the heartfelt lyrics with conviction, with a tone and delivery similar to Toots Hibbert. If the sounds of Jamaica are blowing on shore, here's a band to sail along with. So, let's jump into those lyrics, shall we? One thing I've got to say, you better not trouble this man. My fears have gone away out of Babylon, 'cause I've already paid for the wrongs that I've done. So I can safely say, I a Rasta, son, I. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels, roots rock reggae music, playing Sweet in Heaven. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels, roots rock reggae music, playing Sweet in Heaven. The foolish man built up his house upon the sand, but Rasta man built up his temple on a firm foundation. He who knows you better know yourself. Don't sit aside and criticize. Go on and help yourself. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels, roots rock reggae music, playing Sweet in Heaven. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels, roots rock reggae music, playing Sweet in Heaven. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing music for the rebels, roots rock reggae music, playing Sweet in Heaven. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing Music for the Rebels, roots rock reggae music, playing Sweet in Heaven. On Judgment Day, I'll be playing Music for the Rebels, roots rock reggae music, playing Sweet in Heaven. Oh, on Judgment Day, yeah, Music for the Rebels, yeah, playing Sweet in Heaven. So yeah, that is the tune. And it's funny you mentioned that roots rock reggae from the Clash because that's just a happy accident. I didn't plan for that, but it's pretty sweet timing. But yeah, man, I'm really glad you checked this out, and I would encourage you, which you probably are going to go scope out more from these guys before you determine whether or not you're going to purchase any vinyl in the future. But yeah, these guys are definitely worth the investigation.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm really glad you liked it. Guys out there, please let us know what you thought of Raging Fyah and this track Judgment Day. There's any, I'm sure that there's plenty of reggae acts out there that this stuff kind of reminds you of or takes you back to. Please feel free to share any of your thoughts or sentiments down in the comments field below. We love hearing from you guys. Love interacting with you guys. So please keep that up. Also, like, share, and subscribe if you'd be so inclined. We're trying to continue to grow this channel, and we cannot do that without you guys, whether it's our everyday viewers coming in and sharing this stuff out and liking it, or you newcomers subscribing for the first time. We really do appreciate you guys, and we're happy to have you here in this community of audiophiles. So all that out of the way, hopefully John and I will see all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. We'll see you later, guys.